I was thinking about forgotten Lego cartoons from my childhood, and somehow my mind came to Legochima. Remember that Lego-based show from 10 years ago that was made to sell a line of Lego toys? Yeah, well, it's worse than I remember. And I don't know why my brain makes me think shows from my childhood are better than they actually were. Considering it didn't follow in the footsteps of Ninjago in terms of success and longevity, mixed with the fact that it was phased out by Lego to make space for Nexo proves that it was an epic fail. But I like it and even bought some of the toys. So we're checking it out, and you're gonna tell me in the comments what your favorite Lego cartoon is. The show begins by introducing us to the land of Chima, a magical world filled with various species of animals that have been blessed with chi, an ancient energy source that provides users with life, power, and an increased level of thinking. This chi causes the native animals to evolve into intelligent anthropomorphic ones. Because of this, every tribe wants to get their grubby little paws on them, but lions put themselves in charge of safeguarding the chi because they were the first ones to drink it and become sentient. The animals then make tribes based on species and unknowingly give us the bland and painful cast of very forgettable characters to follow throughout the course of the show. As guardians of the magical essence, it's no surprise that our protagonist is a lion. Laval is the prince of the lions and as a main character as it gets. This means the stereotypical irresponsible goofball who thinks rules and regulations are boring and doing stuff he's not supposed to do is awesome, which is already in huge contrast to his tribe, who have dedicated their lives to upholding tradition and morality after basically appointing themselves the overlords of Chima. Unsurprisingly, he makes a lot of terrible decisions without thinking of the consequences, which leads him into more trouble with his dad. Speaking about his dad, they have that type of relationship where the parent is a stickler for the rules, whilst the child wants nothing more but to be set free to experience the things they have been warned not to do. And whilst we've seen this done many times before, legochima offers no new incentive to make it more appealing to the audience. So most of it is just Laval makes a rushed decision that backfires on him, and then Legravis, his father, scolds him about it. And then he begrudgingly learns his lesson, only to make a similar mistake in the next episode. This goes on for quite some time and makes the first few episodes feel like an eternity. This is our main character, but I don't feel any desire to support him. I just want someone to put him to sleep because of how annoying he comes across as. This isn't something I should be feeling towards a protagonist. Aside from Laval, we have other flat characters that don't add any relevance to the show, like our antagonist Krager, who becomes the villain of the show because he lost his parents to a very dumb stunt he pulled twice earlier in the show. He tried to steal chi from the pool in the Lion's Palace, but he was caught. The second time this happened, this somehow caused a civil war between the crocodiles and the lions, in which his parents fell into some gorge, and this made him the premature king of the crocodiles. His sister Crueler uses some kind of mind control flower to coerce him to wage war against the lions and steal chi for the crocodiles to avenge his parents. All the conflict that happened in the first season happened because this crocodile's sister was a psychopath and nobody in their family said anything about it even though they knew until it was too late. In my opinion, Crueler is the real villain of the season. I mean sure, Krager is an immature and egotistical brat, but he wasn't really fixated on the genocide of the lions until Crueler got involved. She uses every deceptive trick in the book to make her brother a pawn in her messed up game of control. This was mostly from the mind control flower that she used to manipulate him to commit atrocities he wouldn't normally do. Crueler even goes as far as betraying Krager by making a deal with the wolves, but fortunately this knocks some sense into him and he can finally see what a terrible croc she is. But let's not take anything away from Krager. He was a leader who made terrible decisions, so he has to deal with them. But what's worse is that these few characters I've mentioned are the highlights in the show in terms of character selection. Apart from them, everyone else is just a copy of each other. And since members of the same tribe are the same animals, no one has a distinct personality. They just mimic stuff one person says or does, and that's it. It continues from there. The lions are conventional, the rhinos and gorillas are brawn without brains, the crows are selfish, the wolves are wild, and it goes on like that. By the way, this is your like the video reminder, so make sure you do just that. Personally, I would be able to excuse bland characters in a show if the animation was something to applaud at. But what was I expecting from a Lego exclusive? Most of the background locations are generic CGI Savannah inspired pictures. They offer no real sense of originality to the show. It looked like something you would have seen in the early days of online 3D animation. If you look at most of the scenes in the show, they take place at these barren locations that have been stripped of any kind of distinctive features. They don't contain any intricate details that give depth and make backgrounds more memorable. It's just semi-realistic 3D renders of swamps, marshes, savannas, and other habitats. This ugly look seeps into structures and the different objects that are found within each tribe. They remind me of the default renders in an amateur environment texture pack. Remember those 3D Flash games from like 2009? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The characters themselves are no different, as they were made to look as close to the toys as possible, to be even more marketable to its childish demographic. And at this point, it's basically stop motion but with Lego pieces. And whilst this was probably the look they were going for, it robbed us of what could have been if more animation was put into it. This isn't surprising since the show was made with the main aim of selling toys. That is something you should keep in mind. Legochima was not made because a promising cartoonist had a beautiful idea of making a cartoon that could entertain people of all ages, but rather because a multi-billion-dollar corporation was looking for a piece of media to help boost the sales of its toy line. But this excuse can be countered with another one of Lego's cartoon properties, Ninjago. Lego Ninjago was also made to sell Spinjitzu toys, but ended up becoming Lego's biggest cartoon franchise, and this was no accident. Rather, it was a result of an attractive story with quirky characters and a cool concept. Everyone loved the idea of elemental ninjas who saved the day from all sorts of diabolical enemies, and the team behind this realized its potential, so they put effort into furthering the story and building up the world of Ninjago to where it became more than just a blatant cash grab. But with Chima, it's like they wanted the fame and success of Ninjago without putting in the effort to make it worthwhile. And all I can say to that is you reap what you sow. You can't just desire an amazing show without putting in the effort to make that show amazing. It takes a decent investment of time, money, and energy for a show to blossom into a masterpiece. And with a lack of engaging characters, visuals, and stories, unfortunately this cannot be said about Lego Legends of Chima. But at the end of the day, I still enjoyed the show when I was a kid, and I'm sure you did too if you're watching this video. But tell me which show you preferred, Lego Ninjago or Legochima, or tell me the changes that Legochima could have done to become a beautiful show. I'm not hating on this, actually I do think I am, but again, I really did like this show when I was a kid, but right now with this brain that I have, I watched the show and it wasn't as great as I remembered it leading to this review. Tell me your previous and current thoughts on Legochima, and I do implore you to go and watch it. I hope you enjoyed this video that I put together. If you did, leave a like and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Tune out.